home this award going back to Michael Jordan, who won at the very first ESPYs in 1993. But the trophy case is getting pretty full. This is just the last couple of months. A regular season MVP, Western Finals MVP, now 2 ESPYs, Best NBA Player and Best Athlete. We're not even counting the Larry O'Brien. I know the ESPY mom probably doesn't get the same positioning on the shelf maybe as the Finals MVPs, but he beat Ohtani, he beat Saquon, he beat Josh Allen. It feels like the year of Shai, it's just continuing. It's Shai's world, and we're all just living in it, Tim.
Well, and you mentioned Michael Jordan there. Look, if you're talking about the season that SGA just had, it is the best season by a guard in the NBA start to finish since Michael Jordan's prime. And I can throw some statistical cases. There you go. Look, that's the kind of company he's in. And then you talk about winning the scoring title, the MVP, the Finals MVP, you know, leading the Thunder to a championship. Now, the question is, can he be like Mike over the long term? Is this the first of several for the Thunder? That is certainly a possibility.
I love that all the Thunder players showed up. They were up for a team award as well. But to support Shai, even in the middle of the summer, everybody was there to sort of make sure their main man knew that we are still here to support you. You were so great on the Hoop Collective podcast during the NBA Finals, Amon, putting into perspective what his run meant. Was there a single aspect of it that impressed you the most?
My biggest thing that I watched with Shai is his ability. We talked about it a little bit before. The people play checkers.
Yeah.
And he plays chess so well at the end of games that people don't pay attention to. If you watch Shai at the end of games, you'll see him pick matchups. But he's not just picking the matchup for who he can beat off the dribble. Shai already knows I can beat any of you guys off the dribble. 1 through 5, I'm going to get off. I'm going to get where I want to get to. But you start seeing him pick who is the help man. And I'm like, I only seen a LeBron do that. I can tell you whether Shai is going to pull up or shoot one of them floaters in between shots. I can tell you how he's going to do that based upon what matchup he drew.
Right.
But he will not put the game in your hands, and I think that is so impressive. We watch a lot of guys put the game in the ref's hands, put the game on your defensive rotation. Shai has figured it out where it's like, oh, I see what y'all are doing. Y'all trying to get the ball in my hands, but I'm shooting a 12-footer from right here. It's going to have to be a fade to stay away from your shot blocker over here.
Right.
But I'm going to get here, and to watch him be elusive to get there is insane.
It seems like he has a more maybe mature game than a lot of folks his age. And when you say put the game in his hands, he's also able to execute there. Because there's some players, you put the game in their hands, and sometimes they're able to get the job done, and other times they fall a little bit short just because they're working on that consistency. The maturity in Shai's game, it's really poetry to be able to watch. We mentioned that the Thunder, as a team, they were up for the best team category. They did come up short. The Super Bowl champion Eagles took that one. I'm maritally obligated to say go Birds here. But Oklahoma City will be in the mix for a while here, especially when we're talking about the Board of Governors meeting this week. Adam Silver, he spoke directly about dynasties and about the Thunder. Take a listen.
I will say sometimes when I read reports of these unique champions each year, that then gets translated into some notion that the league doesn't want dynasties. I'm perfectly comfortable with dynasties. I like what we're seeing right now. I'm not ready to declare we're not going to have dynasties. I'm sure Sam Presti isn't ready to hear that.
I'm not ready to hear that either. I think dynasties are good for the NBA, but we are in the midst of an age of parity, and this is what the owners wanted. There are 7 different champions that we've had in the last 7 different seasons. It's the first time in NBA history there has been that many different champions over that 7-season span. So, Mr. Marks, the Thunder, though, they are set up to potentially buck this trend. How are they going to be able to be a dynasty in a different way than we've seen recently?
Yeah, Malika, we have an article up on ESPN.com as far as how Oklahoma City can navigate around this second apron. And the more I wrote this article, the more I believe that, yes, they do have the makings to be a dynasty, and here's why. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander still has 2 years left on that rookie max contract. He's playing below the max allowed for a player at his level here. And then you look at what they were able to do with their 2 players they just extended, Jalen Williams and Chet Holmgren. They protected themselves in case either player earned All-NBA honors differently than what Evan Mobley and Cade Cunningham. There's no escalator clauses in that Chet Holmgren contract if he earned All-NBA. The third thing is, remember all these draft picks that keep on coming in, 13 first-round picks over the next 7 years, 4 potentially next year. They've done a terrific job as far as staggering their contracts in the future. Yes, there'll be changes eventually, maybe in the future in Oklahoma City, but the core with the 3 players, with Shai, Chet, and Jalen Williams, those 3 players under 26 years old will be the constant face of this organization.
I'm guilty, Bobby, and you know this, of when the Boston Celtics won a championship, Iman, we sat around this desk and we talked about whether or not they would be the next dynasty in the NBA. Because looking at it, they had all of the pieces, but they were really, really expensive. So I will call out that we're doing it once again with the Thunder, but do you think that they are built a little bit differently for that type of success?
I think they're built way different.
Okay. Yeah, he was giving me the side eye when I said Boston. He said, really? Really?
Well, when you look at Boston, I think we fail to realize the competitive nature of 2 guys that are both supposed to be the main guy. Whether we feel that way or not, Jaylen Brown thinks he's the guy. That's what makes him good.
The Finals MVP voters.
That's what makes him go, you know. But when you look at Jason Tatum, so easy to build around him, get around him, and have a structured say that he's the best player. So I understand it. But when you look at the Thunder, you look at a bunch of guys that are willing to stand behind every guy that goes to do an interview. We're looking at the end of games, SGA run up the sideline and say, Jaylen, you got it. You bring it up. You go ahead. You take it and just have that come up. And then at the end, we all know SGA's the guy. And to see that, you know, I just feel like that's the DNA that you need when you start talking about a dynasty. When we start talking about the Steph Currys, the Michael Jordans, we knew at the end of the game who you got to deal with. That's what I see from OKC. It's easier to have a dynasty, quote unquote, in my terms, when you have that DNA.
And you look at the dynasty that didn't happen in Oklahoma City when they had 3 future MVPs on one roster. And obviously, Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, James Harden, all phenomenal talents, didn't necessarily fit together, didn't enhance the talent of each other. Harden had to go get his own team. Russ and KD, it was kind of an awkward marriage that, you know, ended because of fit. These guys fit. As Shump was saying, there is a clear pecking order. It is SGA's team, and these other 2 guys enhance, and the culture fits. And SGA is the tone setter for that culture. But this is a team, as spectacular as he is, they are a defense-first team. And, oh, by the way, they're the reigning champions with a ton of assets from a rebuild still.
And they don't even drink alcohol.
Right, exactly. So, I mean, maybe they'll be a little bit better at popping the champagne next year because clearly they are set up to be in that position once again. And to your point, the entire Thunder team, well, the 8 guys were at the ESPYs last night supporting Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Their summer league interviews, they still, those guys are participating in the full interviews. At the ESPYs also, the category for the best play, it was won by Saquon Barkley for this unforgettable moment.
What's wild is he was looking for the next.
What?
He was looking for the next thing to do.
I don't know if there's an exact NBA comp here, but it did get us thinking about some NBA hurdles here. Show us. Let's see how we did, Iman. We're going to start at number 5. Of course, when you're talking about jumps, we're talking about hops, you're talking about Aaron.
Let's go, baby.
Hey! Make the dunk contest like this again, please.
How did he not win the dunk contest?
He had to dunk it behind his head. He was going.
I think he should have won that dunk contest. At number 4, we're going with Kirk Snyder in 2006.